Sick.
Do you support his death?
I do.
You support his death?
Fuck Charlie Kirk.
You support Charlie Kirk being killed?
Yes, I do.
On the day he died, you're here at a vigil
Yep.
for Charlie Kirk and you support his death?
Do you support a Nazi?
No, I don't support a Nazi. Charlie Kirk wasn't a Nazi.
Yes,
Support
no,
it.
followers of
You support his shooter?
Yep, sure do. It's freedom.
You support Charlie Kirk's
Sure
shooter?
do. He did us all a favor.
Would you shoot somebody like Charlie Kirk?
I would have killed him myself.
This dude.
You would have killed him yourself. Okay. Do you have a job here in Seattle?
Nope. I take that for a living.
Nope, I do TikTok for a living. Honorable says anti-black sentiment is all they got as a white unifier. True. Now I found out this dude right here who's saying all this big stuff. They found a picture of him. The white people. They found this picture of him right here. A picture of this fat white dude, the same dude who was saying that he don't mind his death. He celebrated having a shirt on saying "I love black women." Oh, they was mad at the Jews for this one, wouldn't they? All right, let me play a little bit more.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few. It's just great.
Now, she's wrong about that part. These type of people definitely would activate and motivate somebody. He's I could tell I heard the black scent. I knew it when I saw the earring in his ear in the other video. I said, oh. And then when the white people found the picture, I said, there you go. I already knew.
All right, so boom, right?
All right, now we get into what the Negroes are saying, right? Yeah. We get to what the Negroes are saying.
So, the Charlie Kirk nigga just got shot, right? I don't know if that nigga alive or not. The nigga might be dead or some shit. For those of y'all that don't know who Charlie Kirk is, he one of them folk. One of them folk. You know what I'm saying? Debbie talking about how we don't need gun control and all the rest of that shit and all the rest of that blah, blah, blah. Don't with the smile. With the smile. You know the one. This one.
This is crazy. No, Travis always said this joke. I don't know if he's joking. He said, I don't trust people with small teeth with too much gum.
Right? So, boom. So, this nigga gets shot, but this is the craziest part to me, right? So, everybody panicking because, oh my God, it's a shooter! Everybody panicking and shit, right? This nigga decides to take his phone out and this nigga...
It's your boy Elder TikTok. There was just a gunfire in Utah.
Everybody panicking because there's an active shooter nearby. And the first... Yo, subscribe to my...
Make sure you subscribe to Elder TikTok on Instagram.
What?
Now, I wonder... He's laughing. I wonder if he was a supporter of Charlie Kirk, because to be live at an event and see someone shot, and I know even from a long range, you saw that blood coming out of his neck, so you know it hit. You could have been a good distance away and still saw that. To immediately hop on your phone and say, subscribe to my TikTok, follow me. My name is that. It's like, that's that age we're in now, the social media age where people just, you know, maybe he wasn't a fan or maybe he didn't care. Maybe he was there to do content from the get-go. So when he got shot, it was like, oh, I can go viral. That's how he was thinking, I guess. Is it crazy that CK does favor the Charlie Brown character? Yeah.
What's the world right now? What?
The world is crazy. Now I want to show this before I get into all the other black reactions, right? So like I said, they kept threatening black people. As a matter of fact, they started threatening and targeting black colleges around the country. Dre said, okay, I'm back now. My Wi-Fi was tripping. Oh, all right. So you see this right here. Black students at colleges across the U.S. targeted with racist threats day after Charlie Kirk killing. FBI says the threats were hoax calls, although universities took measures to prevent incidents on campus. Think about it for a second. Now, you can say this is a day later, they didn't know who shot who. But the fact your first reaction, that's how you know who the real enemy is. Who they think the real enemy is. The second this happens, the first thing they do is attack both verbally and try to do it physically and threaten to do it physically is you. you are the first person that comes to their mind as to who's the real threat and who's the real enemy.
We are now following breaking news about a string of threats at a number of historically black colleges and universities today. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell is following this for us. What can you tell us, Kelly?
Well, Chris, I think this is at this point in the abundance of caution phase, where universities that are a part of the HBCU system, the historically black colleges, a number of them in Virginia, also in Alabama, saying that they have received threats and therefore taking action to lock down a campus or cancel classes or send out warnings to students and to the university community. Obviously, just one day after the Charlie Kirk assassination, in an environment where we have seen a lot of gun violence and a lot of acting out of dangerous threats where citizens can be inadvertently involved in a dangerous circumstance. This is the kind of thing where universities, as they assess a situation, make a determination for what is best for their community and to try to reduce the potential for any harm. By locking down or canceling classes, it clearly reduces the amount of foot traffic. It allows authorities to follow through on any leads. We have made outreach to different kinds of law enforcement, from the federal to the state level and local communities, as well as the Department of Education. And at this point, we don't have a sense of where this is coming from or how connected it may be.
You know, it's very connected, obviously. That's the obvious point. But I want to show this here. I'm going to show this before I get to all the other stuff. Because somebody posted this and it was, this is my reaction to this shooting.
Contribute? Say something.
You want me to say something? Fine. I'll say something. You people. You're not a race. You are a virus. You destroy the world. Everything beautiful you poison. You drag us from our homes. You rape our daughters, murder our sons. You crack our spines and do all you can to break our will. You stab us. Then you put the knife in our hand and tell us it's our fault. And if you don't do it yourself, you stand by, close your eyes, and pretend there's nothing wrong. And then you pray to your God to silence our screams so that you can enjoy the happiness that we built for you with our blood. But it's not your fault. It's the only way you know how to be. And the only thing that will change anything is if another virus comes along and does to you what you do to us.
Virginia says, crazy work. A white nationalist talking about gang violence right before Bing in a predominantly white campus, white city, but worried about black people, only the white man. That's hard. Exactly. That's Esau for you, definitely. Can't help who he is. You are forever going to be an enemy. When you understand that, you know how to move. Was that posted on X? No, actually, I saw some, Travis brought it up to me. Somebody didn't post it, but they mentioned it. This reminds me of that rant from that show about, I forgot his name now. Unfortunately, now he's known for the TV show Scandal. But somebody mentioned that, and then Travis mentioned it, and I went and found it, and I'm using it. I think it's called Dinner Tonight or something. I'll find it if I need it. Let's get to what the blacks were saying. First, we'll get to the supporters of Charlie Kirk. Not even supporters, but the people that defended him. See what they had to say. Start with Stephen A. Smith.
Black man born in America. I know what problems that exist in this country. But I also know there's far more good people than there are bad people in this country, regardless of who you are, what your ethnic background is. White, black, Hispanic, and beyond. I'm in a studio here in Las Vegas, and I'm looking outside, and I see people looking at me and smiling and saying, "What's up, Stephen A?" They don't look anything like me. And I don't care because they're showing me love and I'm showing love right back to them. At some point in time, we got to recognize, can't just speak about it. Can't just give lip service to when such a vile act takes place. And we're going to give lip service to the tragedy of the moment. And then within 24 hours, we move on with our lives like nothing happened. Something did happen. Don't care what his political beliefs were. I don't care what he felt. I care about the fact that a man was gunned down in front of two of his children who are 5 years of age or less. That he's dead at the age of 31. That his wife is a widow. That his children are fatherless. Because his ideas and his beliefs differed from somebody else, apparently. And then I'm going online and I'm seeing people celebrating it. Shame. Shame on you.
Now, this is what Stephen A. Smith decided to go on his show and say. You know, it's funny. When people like this die, how often this idea of this morality of, hey, we supposed to not do this. He had a child. He had a wife. He had a family. But I saw Charlie Kirk, and you can go look at it now, has dozens of tweets mocking and constantly using the name of George Floyd in a mocking manner. Called that man everything but a child of God. Now, I know George Floyd was not no, whatever, it is what it is. Who he was is who he was. But the same way when he died, he's supposed to have gotten some level of, he's dead, he had children, he had a family. They didn't give him that. He became a mascot for everything they believe was wrong with this country. They put that man's face on robots. They made cartoons of him. They made 3D claymation of him, mocking his death. They did the same thing with Trayvon Martin. When these young teenage kids back in the day during when Trayvon Martin was killed, had something called Trayvoning online, with this trend where they would lay on the ground in a hoodie and call it Trayvoning. So they mock your deaths, but when you do the same to them, you're wrong. Dre said, no need to unite. It's pointless, but they're going to get theirs, and they know it too. They know. This is their end for them. This is their last chance of the kingdom. Daddy Pope, Joe Morton was the best thing about Skinny. Yeah, that's his name, Pope, on the show. Brandon Tatum. Did Stephen A. Smith, ESPN handlers tell him to see this? Martin Luther King was an awful and bad person, Charlie Kirk. And now his supporters are saying Charlie Kirk is the modern day Martin Luther King. This man said he said Martin Luther King was a awful, terrible person, and that he was going to destroy the myth of Martin Luther King. And now his supporters are calling him Martin Luther King for getting killed. This is what these people, it's just crazy. This man, I saw people making a point of prove he was racist. What did he say racist, right? And then people bring up the quote video of him saying how black women don't have the intellectual ability to be trusted in certain jobs and stuff. And they said, no, he was talking about particular women. He's talking about Kamala and yada, yada, yada. He wasn't talking about all black women. He was talking about particular 4 women. And then the quote of him saying, I don't trust when I see a black pilot, I automatically assume they're unqualified. And they said, well, he's saying that because DEI. He's saying that if before DEI, he would have never thought to question the credentials of a black pilot. But because DEI exists and it lowers the standard for somebody to be a pilot, he don't trust it. But he's 31. His whole life DEI has existed. The fact that they're acting like DEI only existed the last 10 years is crazy. It's been around for decades. His whole life, DEI existed. And the fact that he knows, this is what make it racist, by the way. It's not that he said that. What make it racist is him making the point and making it seem like it's black people that benefited from DEI or affirmative action when he knows, because he likes statistics, he likes charts. He read them wrong, but he know what the numbers are. It is his women, white women, who benefited from DEI and affirmative action. So seeing a black pilot, you should know that they definitely did their job to get in here. Especially when you see one, because I remember when it went viral when there was a black pilot that had dreads and a grill. Dreads and I don't know if it's a grill or earring or something. And people say, I wouldn't trust that as my pilot. Well, the fact that he looks like that and as a pilot, that means he more than aced every test he needed to do. He knows that the main people who benefited from that was his women, but he made it seem like it's black people who are getting over. But which was pretty much his whole message. These people have been trying to convince people that in America, the actual people who are being oppressed, quote unquote, is white people. They've been trying to push this since they got Trump in office, that it's actually white people being oppressed right now, when it was white women benefiting from all those social safety nets. It's white women who are benefiting the most from welfare. It's white women benefiting from affirmative action and DEI and these job programs and these scholarship programs. And it's them. How are you painting this as a black thing? That's what makes it racist. Or maybe he's just being disingenuous. I don't know. He said 10 years ago, he was talking that stuff. Them folks don't miss a beat to harvest black energy from name, likeness, ideas, you name it. You're right. There was a white woman pilot that flipped the Canadian airplane upside down in Toronto. Wasn't there a white woman that was driving a helicopter that almost crashed in D.C., or the one that did crash in D.C.? Did it ever turn out to be a white woman, or was it somebody else? The initial narrative was that it was a black pilot, and then they said, no, it's not a black pilot. It was a white woman. I don't know. Let's move forward. Yes, let's make it crazy. Here you go. Now, this person disappointed me. And I'm not saying I agree with things she say all the time, but she came off as a little bit of a normal, in some ways, normal conservative, black conservative. This is Angela Stanton King. This is what she said on X. She said, I'm done with the race war. This isn't about color. It's about truth. At the end of the day, there's only one race, the human race. Please stop saying that. Stop saying that, please. Division thrives when we focus on labels and categories that were never meant to define our worth. The history of the planet is separation. Throughout history, people separate. Not just racially, ethnically, religiously. People separate for any reason. The whole idea of assimilation is because you can't be different in another group. You have to mix yourself with them. That's the entire point. What truly matters is integrity, compassion, and the courage to stand for what's right. Unity begins when we see each other not as black, white, or anything in between, but as people created equal, deserving of love and justice. Equal doesn't exist. There's always a top dog. And if you're so-called a Christian, you know that. Nowhere in the Bible does it preach equality. It says there's one race, there's my people, there's my group, and there's everybody else underneath them. He said there's spit in a bucket. There's no equality. What did she post that? I'm embarrassed. I don't know why she posted this. I was very disappointed. I beg to differ, as there are many species on Earth called humanoids, but they not like. Now look at this. You don't get assassinated for lying. And she put a picture of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Kennedys, and put Charlie Kirk next to them. Like, bruh.
Well, we don't believe you. You need more people.
Very disappointed in her for that. Very disappointed. And what's crazy is she got the check mark on X, but you did all that and got 94,000 views on this post. So I don't even know if she was trying to farm views or not. I'm not saying she was trying to do it for money. It's an unfortunate truth that she believes this. It's crazy. And somebody posted this, and let me play this. Somebody really posted this in the comments. Let me play this.
You a coon. You a coon.
It's crazy, man. It's unfortunate. Very disappointed. Now let me play some of these funnier black people mocking the people who crying.
Sat up there and unlive Master Son. I'm heard about that one. They done sat up there and unlive Charlie Kirk. That was one of Master's best sons. He always stood up for what's right. See, y'all gotta understand here. Master help us. Master take care of us. Master love us. You can't sit up there and celebrate nobody's death. They done hurt Massa. When you hurt Massa and you hurt Massa people, you hurt me. Because I live in Highs. I live in the slave Highs. And we love Massa over here.
That was a lot of the content being posted. Let me play this one.
Right before Charlie Kirk got popped, someone asked him, "Do you know how many mass shootings have happened in America in the past 10 years? He replied, "Counting or not counting gang violence." Then pop, he was about to shift the blame for mass shootings on us. And now for some reason, 8 historically black colleges and universities are under threat. Campus lockdowns and all. All this because Charlie got popped in Utah, where the black population is 1.2%.
See later with Master.
What is it about whiteness that y'all can never blame yourselves? How did you come to the conclusion that you are as sinless as Christ himself? And now they want to put a statue of Lil Charlie in the U.S. Capitol, comparing him to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Do you know what school Lil Charlie went to? That would give him the authority to speak on religion, to speak on race, to speak on politics. No, you don't. Because Lil Charlie dropped out of Harper College in Chicago. His first claim to fame was stopping a price increase on cookies at his high school. You can't make this up. Then he wrote an article for Breitbart, alleging liberal bias in textbooks. That affirmative action him in appearance on Fox Business. This is your king? Because the only one I know is Dr. King. PhD in systematic theology from Boston University. The one who wrote 5 books, who electrified the masses, and didn't have to cut his speeches into clips to do so. You see, what y'all not gonna do is conflate these two legacies. Because Dr. King challenged America to live up to the democracy it claimed to be. Lil Charlie, he just repeated fascism, Christian fundamentalism, without critical thinking, might I add, misogyny, really anything that got him paid. America, not only are we not your scapegoat, you really don't even deserve to live in our shadows.
Okay. Price increase on cookies in high school. He was fighting for the people. I'm not gonna play this whole thing because it's 5 minutes. I'm gonna play a little bit of Charleston White. Now, Charleston White, he's one of those people who has admitted that he's created this character online because whenever he did the work in his actual city and stuff, he didn't garner as much attention as it was needed. So he created this character to be a caricature of what black people, he say, want, the entertainment they want. They speak the way he said they want him to speak, but he tried to mix in what he considered to be some truth. But he said some wild stuff most of the time. But in this, he started talking crazy about Charlie Kirk. And the white people that love him got mad at him. And so he threw the hypocrisy in their face.
Say shit when I said to the niggers. When I'm fucking trolling the niggers about their dead babies and dead mammies, you don't say shit. So what do you mean fucking why? I'm a fucking comedian. I get to fuck with anybody. Satire comedy is what we call it. Fuckers. How you gonna take that away from me? So Charlie's no exemption. Don't you fuckers joke about fentanyl Floyd? He's no different than a fucking fentanyl Floyd. Floyd was the Black Lives Matter movement. Kirk is a fucking white ring conservative movement. We get to joke about one another, remember? Liberal, conservative, nigger, black, come on, immigrant. So why is it fucking, you wanna get in your fucking, this is not America that beat British, I'm telling you. These are not the fucking Americans that beat the redcoats. These are the pussies. These are not the Americans that could have stopped 9/11. And your fucking feelings all the fucking time. These are the fucking Americans that's crying because you didn't get picked on the fucking playground because someone said something about you. Who gives a fuck about the dead? Charlie can't hear shit I'm saying. Charlie's dead. Even your fucking Bible says, let the dead. Why are you guys worshiping and honoring the dead? Even your fucking Bible says it.
I said that. That man stood in front of that crowd and said, F Charlie Kirk. They said USA and beat his ass. They Christians. They threw their setup. He threw his setup. F Charlie. They threw their setup. USA. And they started game. They started banging on him. That game.
This is the pussy Americans. You will not beat China. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this America cannot beat North Korea.
Honorable says, is MAGA money drying up? Lots of people seem to be moving differently. Well, that normally happens every cycle. I feel like this cycle it happened a little late because during the Biden cycle, it wasn't that much money for most people as far as these influencers. Trying to get behind Biden and the Democrats just don't generate as much money because you're not saying anything that you're not going to get much money from the liberals, and the right wing obviously going to give you no money either. So Trump era brings money to these influencers like this, these people that call themselves comedians and people that troll people online with satire and parodies and stuff. I don't know if it's drying up. I don't think Trump has the support he had, obviously, months ago, let alone years ago. So, that Israel thing is weighing heavy. And those Epstein files, they ain't forgot. They ain't forgot about those Epstein files. And I think that's really hurting him. He's tried to do some things to try to move them away from that. They're not budging. So the same way the Democrats or the liberals are not asking for the files because Biden not in office no more, his supporters are still asking for those files. We don't care. We want them. And like I said, Israel, I think the the Republican side is split now because a lot of them just ain't with the Israel stuff no more. They're trying to, I'll say the hard right, they're kind of becoming more anti-Israel versus the more moderates are still evangelical Christians who support Israel. The whole thing of if you bless Israel, I'll bless you. And that's the way they've been trying to get that scam off, even though we know they ain't dimming the peoples. The land is downtrodden. You're not supposed to be there. All right, Umar. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But Umar came out and said something about Charlie Kirk, saying how we shouldn't, he said, I would never ask you to mourn the loss of an enemy of our race. So he referred to him as an enemy. But to celebrate an unaliving is completely unacceptable. We know all too well the greatest recipient of political assassinations in this country have been our own people. Stop laughing at the misfortunes of others and get prepared politically. Political assassinations have returned to the United States of America, courtesy of the deep state. Now, people were mad with him for basically saying, don't laugh at his death. But I also saw him saying, if they killed him, that means anybody else is on the table now. We back here. We back in the 60s now. Well, they'll be taking people out every 2 or 3 years. So you laugh now, cry later as he's trying to warn. And let me play this here. Dag Nabbit, Umar ain't made a grip, he ain't willing to exploit you. Hey, he's telling people, he called him an enemy and he's telling people to prepare. Let's leave it at that.
I even think that we should bring back, public executions on certain people. No, but think about it. I think that, and you guys should laugh, it should be public, it should be quick, it should be televised. By the way, you could fund the government
to watch it.
You could have brought to you by Coca-Cola. And no, I'm not kidding. In fact,
it's so crazy how many things he said. As people keep saying, the tongue is a mighty sword. Be careful. Things you say. Y'all didn't see the screen there, did you? Hold on.
Even think that we should bring back, public executions on certain people. No, but think about it. I think that, and you guys should laugh, it should be public, it should be quick, it should be televised. By the way, you could fund the government
to watch it.
You could have brought to you by Coca-Cola. And no, I'm not kidding.
They put a Coca-Cola ad on it. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I also want to show this before we get too far along. Because speaking of public execution, let me play this right quick. How crazy this sounded.